Really keep in mind that these dads are just as excited. They're just as new as you, and the babies won't break. Just let them be a father.
Yes.
Welcome back to Muse on the Mic. I'm Riley.
And I'm Emily. Thanks again for joining us for another great episode of Muse on the Mic. Happy Love Week, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. We love this week. And you know what? We're doing something pretty special this week. What are we doing, Riley?
Yes. I want to say it's like our men's appreciation, but specifically to the dads out there this week. We want to kind of tip our hat to you, give a nod to the dads, because there's so many awesome dads. And we have a video from Gogglebox, and the show is called Dads.
I love this so much. We love dads. We've also got a cute one for you at the end that's going to leave you some warm, fuzzy feels, which is a bit of a steer from our usually saucy direction. But listen, in sex work life, we encounter a lot of dads. We all happen to have one too. So this means near and dear to everyone. We love dads, grandpas, and everyone alike. Everyone knows acting dads. So let's watch the video and we'll show some love on the other side.
Dads. So, yeah, dads. Apparently you're one.
I am one. Mm-hmm.
It's made by Bryce Dallas Howard, who is the daughter of this famous actor and director.
Oh, it's Ron Howard.
Richie Cunningham. Happy days.
Are you proud, Dad?
Absolutely.
Look at that great redhead family.
So she's on a quest to see what it means to be a dad, with the help of viral videos and some famous friends like
Jimmy Fallon.
Will Smith.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
These are mega stars.
Finish this sentence.
Conan O'Brien.
A father is
a loving human being.
The only guy you can trust.
Who knows?
The greatest gift and the greatest responsibility.
Just the most important thing you'll ever do.
If I'm the expert, this whole project is in terrible trouble.
A father is responsible to making sure that they're healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's what a father's role is.
You're so cringe.
A father is.
If you father your kids, you bring them up the best you can and you love them.
Spectacular role model.
You're
That's
a
3
wanker.
words. Spectacular role model.
A father is my compass.
Father is a critical cornerstone of people's lives to making sure they know what's right and wrong and to help them through life and to show them the rules. That's what a father does. And if you don't like that,
Do you want a bucket?
there's something wrong with you.
in the simplest terms. What is a father?
What do you want me to say?
A hero? Because I look up to my dad. If I do it right, I should be a hero to them.
I can't wait to be a father, man.
Oh, dude, it's going to be so much fun.
You guys are absolutely bagger. You've had the best childhoods of anyone in the world.
We're not denying that.
Yeah, well, just start saying it.
I remember that you were really worried that you could never be as good a dad as your own father.
Yeah, I was very worried about that.
Did you worry about that, Dad?
My dad was a great dad, but I reckon I've got him covered.
He was great.
I just miss mine.
I don't think I was. Man, if you could be a good dad, that is a blessing.
I don't think I will live up to how good a dad my dad is.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Dad said that he was convinced he would never be able to be as good a father as his own father.
He said that?
Yeah.
I'm really worried that I'm not going to be as good.
I just hope I'm as good of a parent as what I think I'm going to be.
Do I get to determine if I'm a good dad, or is that ultimately my daughter's decision to determine if I was a good dad or not? That's terrifying, that idea of not knowing.
You're a good dad.
You're a great dad.
There you go.
Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Make it wonderful. We don't have to make our family perfect.
Why are you crying?
I'm not crying.
Are you happy you're a dad?
You get the tiniest window and then it's gone.
Get off. Get out.
A gardener understands how to nurture the seeds through good weather, through bad weather. A father is a master gardener.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That was such a great show.
Yeah, that was lovely.
A father is...
A father is someone who's present through all times, thick and thin. How's that?
Nice.
I'm going to call the missus. I'm going to go get started.
Time to be a dad.
Yep, I'm off.
I love that video. All the feels. My heart is bursting. Let me ask you this. What makes your dad to you a great dad? If you had to sum that up in a sentence.
I would have a bit of a story and a word. And my word would be he's a good example. My father leads
Oh.
by example and in every aspect. But I appreciate that about him. But if I were to describe my dad, one thing I would say about him is when I've stumbled, when I've fallen, he doesn't just pick me up with, well, what happened? Are you okay? It's none of that. He picks me up and says, what are we going to do next? Simple.
Yeah.
He's very black and white. He doesn't need to know how I got there. It's just how am I getting forward? And that's what I appreciate about him. And anytime I've ever gone to him, whether it's for help or advice or anything in between, it's what are we going to do to move you forward? Period. And he's that simple a man, but it speaks to me. And that's what I love most about him.
It speaks of you too, because you're very much a black and white thinker the same way, and you're a very efficient problem solver. So I totally get it. I mean, I know your dad definitely not as well as you do, but that's exactly how I would put it if I had to put in a sentence too, because he's proven that time and time again over the 16 plus years that I've known you. It's so consistent. It's so admirable because most people aren't, even in their consistency, aren't that steady. And your dad is solid like a rock that way, and appreciate him to death for that because he really has your back all the time. And probably at times where you feel like there's nobody else I could ask or go to, and dad is like da 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 da. Just comes in with all his strengths. And I love that. That's beautiful. That's really sweet. I like that.
What about you? Can I pose the question back to you?
You can. It's definitely a little more sensitive because I haven't talked to my dad in about 5 years. But my dad really taught me what love is. And as much as he was a strong man, he was a provider, he was protective, not necessarily in like a gun-toting macho way, but in a very like, I love my family and I'll do anything for them way. But the main thing he taught me was romance because he was the most romantical husband and partner to my mother that anyone could even write in a storybook. It was beautiful to grow up around. It was wonderful to see. It taught me a lot about how to love someone, how to outwardly love someone, what to expect from a man, all kinds of different things. But like, dad came through with the romance on levels that I literally will write about in a book one day because it could be a how-to. If you take 10% of it, she's going to be eating out of the palm of your hand. And my mother soaked it up like a sponge. Rightfully so. But it was all layers. It was the simple things. It was the expensive things and everything in between. His thoughtfulness was unsurpassed. And he was even like romantical as a dad. We always got Valentine's cards and presents from him. He took me on daddy-daughter dates when I was little to go to my first fancy restaurant, or the first time I got to eat, the butter that squirts out the chicken. Anything that had 4 forks. Like I got all those experiences with my dad too. So he definitely taught me about love, and I take those lessons and that way of loving with me through my friendships, through my romantic relationships, and so on. I've just enjoyed a bit of a pause the past few years on that side of me, and I kind of miss it. So maybe this episode will inspire me to show more love again.
But yeah, I can definitely say that about your dad because, again, I also know your father, clearly not as well, but I would say that as well about him. It's the romance, and you speaking about it is where I've learned that, not so much in person, but it's speaking about that thoughtfulness is romance. And I think I totally get that from you, and I've repeated it many times, and I know that comes from your dad. So I think that's really special.
I love that. I think people can be intimidated by the name of romance, or the word, romance, and it can be ostracized in social media or seen as soft or weak. And to me, I've always thought of it as thoughtfulness because it takes thought to stop and buy the flowers, or to remember the anniversary, or to get that little thing she liked that she saw in a window when you were walking one day in Niagara on the Lake. Like all of those little pieces come together. That even a mom who puts a little love note for a kid in a lunchbox, like all of those little pieces of love take the thought to do it and then acting on it and Thoughtfulness is just the sweetest thing around. It's how to be a good friend and a good lover to anybody. So kudos to the dads for all the strength and the love that you give. But it reminds me very much too of some clients that we've encountered over the years at Muse when I used to work in the business. Some of them are very proud dads. Some of them are brand new dads and terrified. Some of them are like in the midst of a dad crisis with a teenage girl and they just need advice. Like there are so many reasons why people come into a place like Muse to escape the pressure, to get some guidance or advice, to literally forget about all the things and just be like, I can't believe I was 16-year-old. Like, and as they freak out, we get to kind of be a supportive role for that. And I think it's a very untalked about and special role and aspect of sex work that people wouldn't always expect.
No, I agree.
Oh, no.
I'm going through my TikTok likes. That's how I look. It's exactly how I look. Is that Christian taking a shower? Hit me up later. Oh, this one is so cute. What? So cute. One more time. Oh, that one's. I want to have kids, but just for that moment, and then take it away. This one is so good. It's a weight loss journey, and you're like, wow, what's his weight loss journey like? And then you're like, it's so good.
Oh,
yeah, you get it. It's not him.
I don't know.
Hey. Hey, baby girl. Hey, baby girl. Aww. It's weird. I really like cute kids on Instagram. Maybe I just like daddies.
Same.
The chewing.
Oh, she is me. She's happy as shit.
This is how I eat chips.
Okay, so some people want to see Charlie's bedtime routine, and I'm going to show you. First of all, first things first, just sit down with her for a sec, get comfy, and get right back up. All right, mommy comes in to say goodnight.
Good night, baby.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, then daddy kisses her goodnight, and then I just put Charlie in her crib.
Oh, shit!
This is possibly one of my all-time favorite TikToks.
Hey, Mum, can I go play in the playground?
Eat. No.
Is that what you want? If the baby isn't safe, the playground isn't safe, which means your kids aren't safe. They won't be getting through that. It's your kid. Is that what you want?
For fuck's sake.
What does that say? These are your kids.
Oh, that brings me a lot of joy.
I wish they'd used adults for that. That would have been funny. You're craving something a little extra, aren't you? Subscribe to our Patreon and enjoy the ride.
And I think dads are like, that's such a big job. Parenting in general, I've said this before on the pod, it's a huge, shitty job. And I think most times we look at mothers because they really have so much on their plate. But do we often think about dads enough and how much they have? Because they are put in that role of provider, protector, but that's at the most simplest level. There's so much more to be a good dad that it takes. And it's living by example, being an example, not just for your daughter to grow up knowing her worth and what she should look for in a man, but teaching your son how to treat a woman. Like really, I think the man's job in some respects is harder because he has to live that for both sides. You have a boy and a girl, let's say. You have to live it for both sides, giving that example. And that's not always easy. Like, it's making a conscious decision to show my children what it is to be a good man.
Well, and then you hope that your children will take it on, because I fully absorbed the love thing and my sibling did not.
Right.
Polar opposite. It takes pulling teeth to get emotion out of that person. So it's ironic, because to me, from my like lived experience, it was all around all the time. But that's also what I was paying attention to. To me, it was interesting. So I always noticed, like, when they were like kissing somewhere or snoodling, and I was like, no, look at them. Whereas my brother was probably like video game or like just checked out on other boy things. I don't know what it's like to be a boy. So what the hell do I know what's going on in their brains at whatever age? And yet those pressures, you're right. It's like, you've got to teach the girl what to expect from a man, how a man should treat a woman. And for the boy, it's how to be a gentleman, how to be respectful, how to obey consent, how to ask for consent. Like, there's so many levels to it. And that includes so many awkward conversations.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's 8,000 talk shows about moms. And where's the dad show? Where's the dad version of The View? You know, like, let's get that segment happening, because it's scary both ways, especially once they come a certain age and there's all the hormones and the sex and the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the idiots they date. Like, it's a lot. Schooling, all that shit piles in. Then these little creatures think they can have their own personality, make their own decisions. And it could completely derail the visions you had, and dads have to struggle with that too, just like moms. It's unique, that's for sure. But I will include one little client tidbit, because I remember there is a step too far, dads. Let me just have this moment with y'all, because I love hearing your stories, but when we were butt naked after you've just jizzed all over my tits, please don't open your phone or wallet and show me pictures of your children. I'm sure they're cute. We could talk about it with our clothing on, but anytime a client would do that, keep in mind it was an era where cash was paid out of a wallet. Wallets had photos. This was before, I mean, it was early 2000s and stuff. So it was a different era, but it was just too real. And I also had one client that really made me angry, because he stopped in for a quickie. He was like, Em, I only have 15 minutes. We got to rush. Because his wife was in labor, giving birth to twins, and he needed to make a pit stop. And I was like, I'm judging you. Retrieval. And I was like, wrath of judgment on thee. Like, I just thought it was terrible. Even if you do it, I didn't have to know. You didn't have to tell me that little tidbit. I love the confiding, but it was one time that a total dad moment icked me right out, and I just didn't really want to see that client anymore.
It's uncomfortable.
It's super uncomfortable.
And you know what? There's one more point I wanted to mention about this video as well, because I think it really highlighted well, or showed a lot of dads' excitement to be a dad, whether, you know, they were expecting or just thinking to their future. That men, because you often, again, think of women that they were natural born mothers. She wanted to be a mother since she was a young girl. But I don't think we often think about boys in that same context. And men do get excited to become fathers. And I'll speak to ladies for a moment. I don't know how many of you are listening, but I think too often in early parenthood, women stifle the man from leading into his father role. I think we're so worried about new babies. And this is for everyone, it's a first time at some point that the woman wants control, and she oftentimes doesn't let him lead. And that, I think, sets him back like steps and steps consistently, that he is then a hands-off dad because he was trained to be. No, I'll do it my way because I do it better. And I know that's hard, ladies, to let go because, you know, this person just came out of your body. But I think to really keep in mind that these dads are just as excited. They're just as new as you, and the babies won't break. Just let them be a father.
Yes. People forget that babies don't break. They're actually kind of bouncy and bendy. So he want to be dropping them all over the place. But let him learn the same way that we all fuck up the first time we try
Yeah.
anything, right? And you're so right. And yet, right from childhood, we're given baby dolls and we're supposed to, like, feed the baby, change the baby, rock
Yeah.
around with your little baby. And if a boy's playing with a baby, then he gets,
Right.
stigmatized in many which ways. And yet, aren't those lessons we need him to learn one day when he's a daddy? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we'd have less blooper videos.
Oh, for
Learned.
sure.
Stay tuned at the end, guys. We got some gems, but like it's true. And then to not let him be alone with the baby, or not think that you can go to meet your girlfriends or go to a doctor's appointment, like whatever things you need to do,
Mm-hmm.
and leave him with the baby. Like if you died tomorrow, he'd have to buck up and take care of baby.
Mm-hmm.
Baby's not just gonna like break like an egg on the ground and then splat, that's over. Like he's gonna figure it out. And that's a bumpy road for every parent, right? Like you said, especially the new ones. But
Yeah.
like what horrifies me and yet amazes me is those spontaneous multiple pregnancies where they're like triplets, and then you see like super dad just somehow with their little contraptions and their dad math just making it work, juggling these little humans, figuring it out with like a foot and a pulley, two wheels and a something motorized, and next thing you know they're like, I got this. And
Yeah.
it's certainly not the way we would do it. It's
That's
definitely
true.
it definitely works. And they get
Yeah.
to, it's like the equivalent of a dad joke, right? It's
Yeah.
like a groan, it's hilarious, it's adorable, and it's so endearing. Let dad's dad full out
Yeah.
because it's so special. Some of my favorite memories from childhood were being goofy with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only imagine the same being for boys and then some. So you're right. Ladies, don't stifle it. Let them flourish as a dad. It'll make them better partners, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Kudos to all the daddies out there. We hope
We
you
love
got
you.
lots of love on Valentine's Day. Show your partner lots of love on Valentine's Day. Show your favorite sex worker lots of love. And owners to you. We love flowers and chocolate and wine. And definitely we will see y'all for March 13th or 14th for Steak and Blowjob Day. We'll give you another nod then too, guys. Make sure you get that one in.
And enjoy the video that's going to come. You'll get a good laugh.
I love it. We'll see you on the next round. Stay tuned.
Bye, guys.
Gary! Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Daddy, Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
You alright? That's the big girls and boys bed roundabout. Jamie!
You're okay.
É, não pode fazer isso, cara. Ele quase que eu matei você no pipi.